Very goodness.
All right. I have never done this. That was a little more effort to figure that out than I would have liked. So, gotta tighten this up. I have friends. Who knew? Friends. Here. Where do we move this away? I hope everyone can hear. Hopefully you can hear. It is a hot one. I think it's about 136, they said it was. Was it 136?
I think 95.
95, 136. It's hot. All right. I have no viewers. Oh, wait. No, that's, I don't know what that is. All right. We have, yeah, oops, no, right there. Whew. Now I can slouch. Oh, no, I can't slouch because my mother might be watching. Don't slouch in front of your mother. So I have a couple of cool announcements I wanted to make really quick. Okay, first announcement. Oh wait, first off, oh, we got props. What you think? Right there. Where's your shirt?
My shirt is on, which is awesome pink.
Oh yeah, it's the greatest cup ever is the homemade cup. Which Candy here did the most awesome artwork ever. Check out this artwork. All hand drawn. And it says Bexplore. Yeah. My Bexplore cup. That's awesome. And this is a store-bought one, but it's cool. I like it. It's got iced tea in it, or it's not iced, it's just tea. It's not iced because it's 136 degrees today.
Dancing Dog said, "Hey Bex," and Barb Vinstra said, "Greetings from Michigan."
Oh, hello Barb. I think it's probably colder in Michigan than here. What do you think? What is it in Michigan? All right, so, all right, let's start the band. Where's the band? Where's the dancing girls? Drop the confetti. Woo, confetti. Woo, welcome to the Bex Catherder Show, live from Lake Mead, Arizona.
Where it's hot.
It's hot. All right. Welcome to the Bex Catherder Show. Here is Candy, the most awesome Candy. Here is Ren, the most awesome Ren. And I am Bex Catherder. And yeah, pretty soon, yeah, we'll have the band play and all sorts of fun stuff. More confetti. All right.
75 in West Michigan.
Oh, nice.
I have popcorn and beer. Let's roll. And that is from
Yes.
Karen Knowles.
Yes. Also, when are you coming to the East Coast?
Oh gosh, I would love to do the East Coast. I would really love it, but yeah, so I love to spend the holidays with family, and it's kind of like, okay, well, I got to get out there in the summer and get back before the holidays kind of thing. I need to plan that one of these times, very much so. But I'm going to make one huge announcement first. All right, it's not huge. It's probably inconsequential to most people. But I am not going to put any more mid-roll ads in my videos. The ad situation on YouTube is just crazy. Like, I noticed I kept getting 2 ads at the beginning of every video, and I have no control over that. I can't stop it. That's just what the YouTubes do. And I mean, let's just be honest, like when I was putting a mid-roll ad in, it would double my revenue, but I only make like somewhere between $10 and $15, maybe $20 on a video. So if I was getting like, you know, maybe $20, $25 or $30 when I did a mid-roll, but but yeah, it's just so much, like, it just really takes away from the experience, and I want my videos to be more of an experience. I want you to feel like you are traveling in that space with me, and the mid-roll ad just destroys everything. And with 2 ads at the beginning, I'm not going to do it anymore. And I'm just about, I have a Patreon, and my Patreon was just like almost at $100, and I thought, well, the Patreon definitely makes up for anything that, you know, I might miss from the YouTube revenue. And I would like to thank all the Patreons very much, and this isn't a pitch, but I definitely want to acknowledge people who took the time to create an account over there and to send me anywhere from $1 to $20 a month. It's very much appreciated, and you're the reason that there are no more mid-roll ads. Thank you, thank you, woohoo! Drop the confetti, confetti, woo! Woohoo! All right, any good questions?
Yeah, Matthew asked, how's your camper holding up?
Oh, the camper's great. Oh, you want to see the camper? Let's see the camper. Oops, oh, you tightened that one down. All right, let's do the camper. Woo! There's the camper. It's doing great. I love that camper. I love my house. Oh, wait, you want to see something? Look at that. Oh, don't look too long. That's a secret. That will be in a future episode. So, and the water is behind us here, and there's water over there too. And we go over there to the lake a couple times a day and just sit in the water. I just sit up to my neck because, yeah, it's hot as hot stuff is.
Hot?
It's
hot?
It's hot as
It's
hot
hot.
stuff. All right, any good questions?
I thought I saw one after
Yeah.
the question about the trailer.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, tell us about how you found your Casita.
oh,
From Patrick.
oh, I am so, oh, this is so awesome. So I used to work in the Bay Area in Silicon Valley, and for years I wanted a teardrop trailer. So for years I was just obsessed with teardrops. I was looking at, I wanted to build one, but I couldn't because I don't have any place to build anything. So I was looking at every teardrop. I was just super into it. And then I got laid off from work, and I did a little more research, and I found out that the older Casitas, they weigh less. So they weigh empty, they weigh anywhere from 1,100 to 1,200 pounds. Same thing with Scamps. And I went home and I talked to my mother, and I asked my mother, I said, I'm really thinking about buying a tiny trailer and traveling it around and seeing a bunch of stuff. And I thought my mother would be like, oh, don't do that. You need to go back to work. Oh, that's a terrible idea. No, exactly the opposite. She was as, if not more excited about getting a trailer and traveling around than I was. And I was just so happy, just everything, just, yeah. So I went home. I went home on Monday. I drove home from Portland to San Francisco, and I got up very early on Tuesday morning. I opened up Craigslist, and I did a search for Casita, and right at the top, right there, was a Casita for sale in Cloverdale, California, about 2 hours north of Mountain View, where I live. I immediately picked up the phone and called that guy, and I called him on the phone. I was like, I'm really interested in the Casita. I'd like to come look at it today. And he's like, well, I'm a little busy, and maybe you could come tomorrow. And I'm like, well, I could come anytime right now or tomorrow. Yeah, that works good. And he's like, well, I'm really busy. And he just sounded kind of like an older, really gruff guy, right? Finally, he's like, okay, you can come over at 11. I probably called him at 8 a.m. So I drove up to Cloverdale that same day. I looked at it and I'm like, I'm buying it. I want to buy it. I want to buy it right now. And the guy, when I talked to him in person, he was actually pretty young. He was probably late 30s. He had a very young boy. He was very cordial. He wasn't gruff in the slightest. Whatever was going on the phone, whatever was going on in my head, totally didn't match reality. I bought the trailer, except I didn't have any electricity to my tow hitch, so I had to leave it there for a couple of days. And yeah, so I bought it, and I went back, and here's another great story. I bought the trailer on that Monday, and I had to get the electrics all hooked up to plug in the trailer to my camper, or to my car. And I got that done, and I finally got to go pick it up on like late Wednesday night. I drove up there late, and I towed the trailer all the way home Wednesday night, totally freaking out because I had never towed anything, and it was just like every bang, every noise I thought was something. And I get home, and I get up at 6 a.m. the next morning, and I drove to the Scamp Fest. It was a tiny fiberglass trailer festival up in California, Northern California. And so I had the trailer less than 24 hours, and I took it to a little fiberglass trailer fest. Anyway, I hope that answers your question. Is there more questions?
Yeah. I want to know this too, and I've known you for a while now.
Yeah?
Beck's cat herder. Why are there no cats?
All right, this is not something I usually talk about. So I love cats and I love dogs. But I used to help organize a camp every year that was a little bit anarchist, a little bit socialist, a little bit, it was for younger people, and and we didn't want to create any hierarchies, right? So so I couldn't call myself an organizer. We didn't want to call ourselves organizers, so we called ourselves cat herders. I was known as Cat Herder Becks for many years, and people would come to this camp, and it was awesome. It was out in the national forest, and you'd come out there. We would feed people 3 meals a day, all vegan, of course. It was awesome, actually. It was a lot of fun, but I was known as Cat Herder Becks. And so I'm Flemish, and my last name is like very unusual. Every single person with my last name I'm related to. And there are some people with my last name that I'm not super duper interested in hooking up with. So when I first got on Facebook, I'd get these messages from people, oh, we have the same last name. How unusual is that? And so I realized I had to change my last name online. And since I was known as Cat Herder Becks by all these people, I just became Beck's Cat Herder. That's how that happened.
Side note, I used to have a command master chief that I worked for,
Yeah.
who would like chew my ass sideways and always end it with, it's like herding cats with you. So I don't know if that means anything.
Yeah. Any other good ones? Shall we
Well-
do one more big announcement?
Well, you could, but there are a lot of people that want to know, definitely like when you plan on traveling to the East Coast or when you plan on getting back to the Redwoods, you know, kind of what are your goals for travel from here?
I don't have any like set goals. I wish, well, part of me would like to make plans and part of me just abhors plans. I definitely, I want to get to every single state in the United States. I think we live in a wonderful country, and I definitely very much want to, wait. Thank you. That was Jay Corbin.
Yes.
Jay Corbett, thank you very much. I appreciate it. That's a different color. That's why I
Yeah.
noticed it.
It definitely highlighted. Yep.
She's new here, forgive her.
Was there
And
another? Was there more?
No.
Do we need
Bex?
to thank
Nope,
you?
that was it.
I sent a thank you out to Debbie, and I apologize, Blakesley, because she's been explaining to people how to donate to you.
Oh,
So
very kind. Thank you. Yeah, I definitely want to see every single state in the United States, and I'm super interested in that. I need to get it together and start moving. Yeah, I don't know. Definitely, probably a good plan would probably be to go, you know, in or late winter, go across the south and then go north with the weather. I should probably do that.
That sounds like a good plan.
Should we? Should I do one more announcement? I have one more announcement.
Yeah, you could do that.
Ready for one more announcement? All right. I did a poll on my Facebook page. I did a poll like, I don't know, 2-3 weeks ago. And that poll I asked, I see another color.
Oh,
Matthew Priest, thank you. You are so kind. I love you. All right. Other big announcement. Ta-da! I don't know if you can see this. Is there? I hope the colors are good.
Yeah, you're fine.
Yeah. Does it look okay?
Stop moving back and forth.
Oh. All right. I got a new camera. This is my new camera. This is a Panasonic Lumix G85. It's got the flip out screen and it is awesome. And there was a really, really wonderful, kindly, I'm not sure if I should like mention names or whatever, but a very, very kind woman had made a very generous donation and helped me purchase this, and I'm so thankful. I see another. Oh my
Yes,
gosh,
Kathy
thank you.
Azinger.
I'm always just, I'm so.
I'm just gonna step out of the scene.
All right. I'm always so just overblown by people's generosity because it's much more than monetary. It's people being invested in what I'm doing, something that's very, very personal, like me making my home movies and travel. Like this is a very personal experience for me, and to have other people along for the ride, it's a lot more than money. It's hard to explain.
Oh,
What?
somebody just said that the white thing that is over our right shoulder is washing out the video too bright.
Oh,
And it's the rig.
Oh, it
The
is the rig.
trailer.
That's actually my trailer, so I apologize for that.
we could all move over. Should we move over a little bit this way? Is that? Can we do this?
Ren just needs to turn slightly.
Ren is always the one that needs to move every time.
Well, you don't have to get all the way out. Are you going out?
No, but
No.
you gotta move other stuff.
All right. This is gonna be fun.
Somebody said take off your sunglasses.
Oh, I can swap out my glasses. Here, let me go get my other glasses.
Don't look directly into her eyes.
We're in the sun. It's so bright all the time.
Yeah. Welcome to the desert.
Yeah. I really want to tell you why I picked this particular camera too. So if you want me to take my sunglasses, my regular glasses are in my rig. Let me run over. Hey, do you guys want to do the dancing ladies in the band? Do the music? All right. Do something really quick. Hurry.
Do something. Just say thanks like, to everybody.
Okay, general public, now is the time to ask the embarrassing questions. Hold on, I'm waiting for embarrassing questions.
Oh no. No,
About bags.
we don't want to do embarrassing.
You're the one that
He
won the
says-
live stream. Okay, here, hold.
So,
All right. How are we?
Rotate.
Yeah.
well, he said move it back. So
All right.
I'm trying to move it back, and I'm not very good with your tripod.
Let's see. Where are we at?
There. See, peek. I will lean a little bit.
Yeah, get in here. Definitely. Come in closer.
Core to you just donated to you.
Oh, who?
Core to you.
Core to you?
Core to you.
Oh, core to you. Awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you so
Like
much.
musical chairs.
Yeah, it's a little like musical chairs. Here, I'll tip it down just a little tiny bit. How's that?
Quick question for you
Yeah.
from Stuart. Stuart, how many miles you got on your CRV?
195,000 miles on a 2008 CRV. 195. Can you believe that? Like when I was younger, Like no car would drive that without having a rebuilt engine. By the way, those my sunglasses are prescription, and then of course these are prescription, so I can't really see without some kind of prescription. Well, I can see. I'm nearsighted, so I take my glasses off when I'm looking at my phone, but otherwise I need it. All right, does this look good? Does it look good? Oh, we do look good, don't we?
Yeah, it looks
that's
much
way better.
Yeah.
Thank you for that. Any other good questions?
What about Holly M? Holly M said tow capacity on your CRV because she's thinking about trading her Venza in. So
the CRV has a towing capacity of 1,500 pounds, and I'm definitely pretty close to that. So unless you're going to get a Scamp or something that weighs in about 1,100 pounds empty, really you'd be better to buy any kind of 6-cylinder. So I love my Honda. That Honda has been just a magnificent vehicle, and I totally recommend Hondas. But if you're towing, I would highly recommend getting the Honda, what's the one up from it? There's a Ridgeline that's pickup, but there's the upper model of that is something else. It's a Honda.
I don't know.
Yeah. Anyway,
It's a Honda.
get the 6-cylinder Honda if you can, if possible. That will definitely tow anything you need.
People are saying Pilot.
Oh, the Pilot. Yes, the Honda Pilot. Thank you. Thank you very much. That is the one. All right. So, camera. This is a Panasonic Lumix G85. There's the screen. So I was originally looking at the Canon M50 or the Sony A6400, and pretty quickly I kind of threw out the Canon, and the reason is okay, so there's 3 major sizes of sensors. The sensor is the thing that takes the image, and there's a full frame sensor, that's the biggest, it's a big sensor, and then about half the size is an APS-C sensor, and that is what is in the Canon and Sony. And then smaller than that is the Micro Four Thirds, and this is a Micro Four Thirds. It is the smallest of the sensors, and what allows, what's good about having a smaller sensor is it allows you to have a smaller body. This body really isn't that small. The Canon M50 is actually smaller, but this had a couple of huge benefits. So benefit 1 was price. So brand new, this camera comes in under $700. I didn't buy it new. I bought one of the used ones on Amazon. But yeah, it's right about $700 with this 12 to 60 lens. So yeah, it's got a 12 to 60 zoom lens. But there's one other thing. So price. The other huge thing, okay, so it's Micro Four Thirds. I think you might have seen a video I put out that's a BMPCC test. It's walking through ruins. That camera is a Blackmagic Pocket Cinema camera. That is an amazing camera. It is very difficult to use because you have to actually operate the camera. But it's it has a Micro Four Thirds mount. And buying another Micro Four Thirds camera allows me to swap lenses with that one and this one. So all the same lenses that work on this camera will work on that one. Let's see, I had another good reason. I'll probably come up with it in a second. Anyway.
Image stabilization.
Yes, oh my gosh, that.
You're welcome.
So this camera has a couple of, one big downside is that its autofocus is not very good, but it makes up for it with image stabilization. The image stabilization of this camera is off the charts, well, compared to other cameras of its range. And honestly, I love this camera. It's really amazing. I'm so thankful to have it. My other camera was a Canon S120, It's a little point and shoot. It's a very small one. And I know everybody said that's a great camera and it's got, you know, great picture. I do color correction, so I do help the picture out a little bit, but it doesn't have a microphone input. You can't plug a microphone, and one of the huge things that was messed up with that was you'd always hear the wind noise. The wind noise was really just really bad when it was windy, because that was where wind noise comes from, is windy. Angela, thank you. Thank you so much. Is there any other good questions? I mean, I can talk about cameras all day, trust me. I've been boring these people with camera stuff for like a month now. Like literally.
We're not bored. I'm not. I like cameras.
I've been just really torturing people like, oh, let's talk about cameras. What do you think of this camera? What is that camera? It's, yeah. All right.
Aletta's asked twice, what's the name of your lens?
So this is a kit lens. It's the 12 to 60 lens. It's just, you know, it's a Panasonic Lumix lens as well. And yeah, it's a kit lens that comes with it. It's an excellent kit lens. It's really good, and I'm very happy to have it. I have another prime lens that I was using on my Blackmagic Pocket Cinema camera, and that is an outstanding lens, and I'd like to use that more, but there's just no denying the versatility of having a good zoom, a 12 to 60 zoom, and you know, yeah, it's just really. Am I in the picture? So, yeah, here I am on video making a video. Too meta? I don't know.
You're breaking the fourth wall.
Yeah. Yeah.
Of course, Mike Warner wants to know, like, how do you save money for car trouble or AAA or things like that?
Yeah, money, you definitely should always have a little stash. I keep some cash because I did, like when my camper broke in half, the guy that came out and welded my camper together on the street 2 years ago wanted cash and cash only. So you definitely have to plan for things breaking. About once a year, I need to spend about $1,000 on a repair or tires or something. So last year, my car, the engine light came on, and I had to take it in for a service where they adjusted the valves. And the valves, that was a $900 repair. What?
One of the comments, it was kind of funny. Just
Thank
Ren's,
you, 100 megas.
Yeah, Ren's funny without smiling. Ha ha ha.
I'm coming for you next.
You should move over here closer. You're out of the picture.
There's a reason for that.
Oh, well, fine, be that way. That's good. No.
No, fine.
No.
Great,
Here, get
let's
closer.
do it.
Get over here.
All right.
There, now
All
we're
right, how's
close.
this?
So, what's your next question, Ren?
Is there another question?
Yeah.
Because I can keep talking. What time is it anyway?
Somebody recognized that behind you.
5:29.
What?
So the Chief's anchor.
Oh, Ren is one of our American heroes. She's a retired Navy. Yeah, she's 21 plus years,
Yeah.
over 21 years. Yes. Thank you for your service.
Yeah. And I was a FC chief, so.
Yeah. She was never in the Navy, but we love her anyway.
I work every day, Monday through Friday.
She does. She's a hard worker.
Let's see. So there was a question that I saw. Oh, your selfie stick and or gimbal, whatever you use for your camera. Somebody was asking about that.
So I've always used the selfie stick. You want me to go get my selfie stick real quick?
You can.
All right, I'm gonna run and grab
Ren's
myself.
gonna keep him entertained,
Yes.
apparently.
Yes,
Yeah. Are you not entertained?
All the time.
I am very entertained.
My virgin. Do a vid on Ren's bike. That was already done.
Right.
Done. Look through Bex's videos. You'll find it.
Yeah, I was a fire controlman chief. So, weapons engineer.
That's right.
All right. So, this is my original camera. It's a Canon S120. Excellent camera. They don't make it anymore. If you want its equivalent, it is a Canon G7X Mark II. Excellent camera. It's a little larger, better picture, better, you know, megapixels, all that. But for years, this was what I used. And again, it's excellent. And basically, I just walked around and did this all the time. Oh, here. So, yeah, so I would just, hello, I'm making home movies from wonderful places, woohoo! Yeah, so I literally, this is all the stabilization I ever had. This is it. And you learn how to carry it and hold it, so, yeah.
Oh, that's a different stick. Where's the
Yeah.
stick for your... Oh, you brought it. Okay.
Yep, I got a new stick. So, also, so the great thing about selfie sticks is that they also kind of work as a gimbal. So if you're walking around, if you hold it like this, so you can just, if you walk like this and hold it carefully, it actually really helps with stabilization a lot. And if you just pull this out just a little bit, you know, you get just the right amount of stabilization. This is, I think, maybe a 2-axis gimbal. This works really well, actually. It also works great as a monopod. So you can put this on something and, am I?
Yeah. Yeah, your video, yeah, that camera is pointing in my direction, so, yeah. That's your secret.
Yeah, it's a secret. So this works great as a monopod. I set this on like the bar, what is it, the handrails and stuff. I often set this on a rock or a handrail and just stabilize the camera, and then I can just do a little turn like this. This, yeah, I highly, highly recommend selfie sticks if you're doing stuff. They work for a lot of stuff. We're gonna not put this in the dirt. So, with this camera, I needed a newer one, so I bought this super duper heavy, it's a massive one, Fujitech, and I have this quick release plate. So I have a quick release plate on this and my tripod, which is holding my phone right now. And so this just pops in like that. And now, again, I have a selfie stick. And yeah. So, yeah, and it actually, this just holding it out and just being careful is a great stabilizer. You don't need a gimbal. It's totally not necessary. Oh, I see another Priola 7. Thank you very much. But yeah, so this is the setup now, and I can't wait to put out my first video with this setup because I've shot a couple of videos now. We're near Lake Mead, near Las Vegas, and yesterday we all went to the Valley of Fire State Park.
You want to thank
Yes, Weekend Trailblazers, thank you very much. I mean, yeah. We went to the Valley of Fire State Park. Bruce, thank you. Thank you very much. And the Valley of Fire State Park is awesome and amazing. And I filmed a couple of short little hikes with this. And yeah, I'm just like excited, very excited. I have a cool camera. All right, should I ramble? I feel like I'm really rambling a lot.
Yeah, you won't let me get in a word. So Karen Knowles asked this question a couple of times.
All right.
And we were talking about this the other day. Where did you learn this stuff? Like, did you learn it in film school?
I did not go to film school, but I've always loved films, and I actually really wanted to go to film school, but it didn't seem prudent. And I've always loved home movies. I've been a home movie aficionado for a long time. I shot a lot of stuff on Super 8. I've got hours of Super 8 film. I used to go to all the family gatherings with a little Super 8 camera and follow the kids around, and I love Super 8. I have Super 8 films from high school. And so the majority of things I learned about filmmaking in college, I took a film appreciation class. And in film appreciation class, they talked about all these great films and why they were great. And, you know, they talked about camera angles, and they talked about how, you know, what they're called L and J cuts, and I've learned this way since then. I didn't know what it was, but they pointed out that, like in TV shows or films, you'll have the sound from like one scene kind of bleed over into the other, or the sound from another scene start before the picture does on the new scene and stuff. Those are called L and J cuts. Yeah, most everything I learned was in my film appreciation class. I know, kind of odd. And just a love of home movie making. So, is there any other questions? I could talk about like the films I want to make for YouTube. Like, a lot of people just do this pure vlogging where they just turn a camera on for X amount of time and they take a bunch of shots, and then everything is linear and everything is just set out, and I appreciate it. And I'm definitely don't want to make it sound like that's not good. That's awesome. I love all the different kinds of styles that everyone has, but I really want to do a little more kind of storytelling. And like for me, I've watched all these YouTubers for, you know, for years, way long before I bought my camper, and styles kind of, you know, people's styles. Wait, I see another one. Karen Knowles, thank you. Thank you, Karen, thank you. So people's styles kind of bore you a little bit after a while. But, and yeah, it's not them, it's just that, you know, yeah, it just gets old after a while. But so what I want to do is, I love putting in all the facts. I love history. I'm a huge history buff. I love the history of everything. So I love to put in facts about history, you know, and just make it more than just a linear thing. Although making like a film throughout the day is an easy baseline, but there should be some kind of like, you know, ups and downs and things going on, other than, oh, we're driving to here and then driving there, and oh, and that's great. That's awesome. I just want to do a little more something. Can you see my shirt? My shirt is awesome.
Yeah, we actually had some comments on our shirts. They were, yes, they were like, those are great shirts. So, yeah.
Where's the cup? Where's my cup?
I don't know. I had to move.
Oh, you did.
Oh, right here.
Oh, do you want? Oh.
Oh, don't forget, Bex, that you have an alien here that people might want to hear about.
You have to see my space alien cooler. This is one of my favorites. That's good. That's really good. That's an Arnold Palmer. It's just tea and lemonade. That's it. It's awesome. All right, I'm gonna put this. Oh, no butts on camera. No butts on. Was my butt on camera?
I think my butt was.
Turn it
I
around.
apologize.
I can't see though, so you have to tell me.
Bring her down.
I can't.
Oh, tilt that right.
The long arm tilts down.
Yeah, I tried. But
No, right here. Right here. See, it turns.
Oh, there you go. Okay.
Wait. Yeah. Every time I try to turn. There we go. It's a face.
Sad cooler.
No, it's consigned cooler, you know. It's anyway, this is my cooler. It is one of those cheap Yeti knockoffs from what is it? Walmart. And we did our little plan, so we wrapped it in stuff. Because when it's 136 degrees out, you need your Gatorade to stay cool.
Yeah, Gatorade. That's what we were going for.
Gatorade. Do you have Gatorade?
I do.
We really do.
How much beer is in there?
Not a lot. There's a couple.
Okay.
Not a
Don't
lot.
anybody look in the right pocket of my chair.
Yeah.
Oh, and that's life right there.
Mountain Dew.
Diet Mountain Dew. That keeps me editing.
That's your Adderall?
Yeah.
Got it.
All right. Let's put your hat back on.
Matthew Priest put a alien face.
Yeah.
I'm taking
Oh.
this to Mars with me. We're going to Mars. And
We're going to Mars.
My Gatorade's going with me.
So there's a person named Carla Jordan
Yeah.
who said, do you ever think Bex will do a live shot of her driving in scenic areas to and from?
The problem, I've never done a live before. And here, let me put that up just a tiny bit. The single reason I've never gone live before is simply because I've never had cell service that could do a live shot. Virtually everywhere I go, I either have no cell service or I can literally just, oh, I see another. Street Tacos, thank you. Waved to you 2 years ago while at the RTR. Love your work. Thank you. I'm waving back now. I hope it's not retro wave there. Yeah, I've never gone live just because I've never had cell service that could do a live shot before.
Carla also asked if us old virgins drink beer.
Nobody drinks beer here. Nobody smokes cigarettes. Nobody smokes cigarettes.
That's when I lean off, okay?
Killed her a bar when she was only 3.
What? I am very good. I don't smoke. Sometimes I drink a beer. Usually it's PBR though. PBR for the win. Woohoo.
Carla has a lot of questions.
Does she?
Yeah, she's very.
All right.
So she wanted to know if you had a Verizon hotspot.
I do not have a Verizon. I did buy one of those Verizon little things off of eBay a couple years ago, and then I was out somewhere and didn't pay the $5 a month or something, and it died. And so I don't have that anymore. I have the little thing. I just don't have service anymore.
Buzzwords. I know you read that one, Ren, right?
Yeah.
Do you guys eat a lot of roadkill?
No, actually tonight it's going to be like vegan enchiladas and a couple other things. Believe it or not, anytime you're hanging out with other nomads, you're going to eat good out here. Somebody has a signature dish that they're really good at making, and when everybody combines their stuff, like, it's done. So you eat really well out here.
Yeah. Oh, I've actually gained about 30 pounds being on the road. It's sad. Sad face.
Ren, you got Chris?
I'm looking for it. What's your favorite state?
Well, California. I love California. But, I mean, different places I've been, there are such spectacular things. You know, I was not too pumped about coming to Arizona a couple years ago, and Arizona's turned out to be just an amazing, amazing place. There's so much history and so much to see. Oregon, absolutely beautiful. I love Oregon. The Oregon coast. So, California coast is absolutely gorgeous. It's perfect. But you get everything on the California coast, on the Oregon coast, only much shorter. It's really awesome. Washington coast I'm not super happy with because 75% of Washington coastlines are privately owned and you can't walk on them. And that kind of bums me out. It really kind of bums me out. But Washington, beautiful state nonetheless. I absolutely cannot wait to really, really get into Utah and Colorado and Montana. Oh, there's like a bunch in Idaho I want to see. I mean, yeah, I have barely even scratched the surface. There's so much amazing. It's hard to say like, okay, this state is better than that state. I mean, there's just amazing stuff to see.
Any YouTubers you admire?
Well, I admire my friends. I think, you know, YouTubing, like I end up watching a lot of YouTubes on both filmmaking and cameras and things like that. But I definitely love watching my friends. I mean, I'm always interested in knowing what Aja from Pandemonium is doing, and Scott and Terry. Scott and Terry, just a couple of the most lovely people you could possibly meet.
Dana, Steve, the kids.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't really remember any, but like, yeah, Potato Jet. If you're into cameras and camera equipment and filmmaking, Potato Jet is awesome. Yeah. Oh, so overlanding. One of my overlanding. There's a couple of overlanding channels I watch, like 4X Overland. He's like this Australian guy. He makes awesome videos. Oh, what's that younger guy? I Am Jake. I Am Jake. I love that channel. He's a younger guy who lives in his Jeep. Well, he's living in some other trailer or a truck camper now. But he travels around in his Jeep. I Am Jake is awesome. Yeah, can't really think of any more than that right now.
Yeah, that. Did you see something I missed?
No, I just see
What'd you see?
Carrie B said hi, Bex. Hi,
Yes.
Carrie B.
You have a ton of those. Molly also said hi, Bex, Ren, and all.
Hi, Molly. Bert.
He was asking about
Oh.
Petey, and
Oh.
Ren responded
Oh, okay.
for you because
Yeah.
you were talking. And have you traveled all over the U.S.? I think you kind of talked about that once already, but
Yeah, I haven't traveled all over the U.S., just been to the West, but definitely very much want to see every single state, without a doubt.
let's see. Everybody's definitely out there.
Are your friends single?
Keith Cope. What's up, Bex? Howdy. Hello, Keith Cope. What's up?
There was something somebody asked, and I'm sorry, I apologize, I don't remember who you were, but asked about the old style videos that you do. They're kind of like sci-fi or sort of kind of. Where did it go? I apologize because I don't remember who you were.
The stag film, or?
Stag films or something
Oh.
like that. Yeah.
Those, I bought a box of these. So I had a couple friends who are artists, and
Saucy girl.
well, I love home films. I used to buy boxes of Super 8 and 8mm films from estate sales. And I was at this estate sale one time, and this lady had this big box of white label videos, and she explained that they were keyhole film. She says, though they're keyhole films, they all start where the camera goes into the keyhole, and then there's a lady lounging in her boudoir. There's no nudity in any of them. These are all from the 50s. But I bought this little box of them, and one of my friends who was an artist, we were gonna like put those somehow on video and project them on the ceiling during one of her exhibitions. She had a little studio in San Francisco, and we were gonna like just project these cool old films on the ceiling of her studio, you know, when she was having an art opening. And it never came around because I couldn't figure out how to get those onto video. I couldn't digitize them. It was really expensive. Well, I had a whole bunch of my films digitized a while back, and I threw a couple of those in the box and got them digitized too. So those are on my channel. Few people have commented about those. I find them humorous, and I'm not offended by them, and I know some people were, and I'm sorry if you feel that way. I think they're pretty harmless, and obviously if they were awful, YouTube would have deleted them. Bex and Slim Potato Head.
Slim Potato Head. I don't.
He's another YouTuber.
Is he?
Yeah.
Okay.
I never met him. I do like his videos. I watch him whenever I can. I don't watch a lot of YouTube videos just because I most often don't have any service. So.
Here's a fun question.
Oh.
If you won the lottery, what kind of rig would you buy?
Oh, I think about that a lot because it's just kind of fun thinking about the rigs. My dream setup would be like a Chevy Colorado, the Bison, with the stuff on the bottom, so when you get rock kisses on the bottom of your truck, it doesn't bother it.
Those would be called skid plates, and I've never heard anybody refer to that as rock kisses.
They're rock kisses. They
Okay.
the rocks kiss the bottom of my rig all the time. I got all sorts of rock kisses on there. And then a Casita, a 17-foot Casita. So the one thing, so every trailer, every RV you could possibly buy has ups and downs. It's a compromise no matter what. So what I love about a 17-foot Casita is that I have a permanent bed and a permanent dinette, so I can sit and work at the dinette. But the great thing about Casitas is they're so lightweight, and they come with this high lift axle, so you can really lift them up high off the ground. They're very lightweight. You can drag those suckers off in the backcountry, but I would always own, I think, a fiberglass camper. There's a lot of truck campers that are fiberglass that are awesome. Oliver is the Cadillac of fiberglass campers. An 18-foot Oliver would be absolutely phenomenal, but then I would need a full-size pickup. I'd need a really big pickup because that sucker weighs like at least 5,000 pounds, whereas like a Casita fully loaded would weigh somewhere like 2,800 pounds, at most maybe 3,000. So, any other ones?
Did I miss anything?
Have you ever been to Florida?
I've never been to Florida. Do you work on, Matthew Priest, what do you work on besides videos? My complexion? I don't know, nothing, I guess nothing.
What did you do before you started filming full-time like this?
Oh, so in my past life, I was a software engineer in Silicon Valley. I wrote code. The last company I worked for, the original CTO came directly from Microsoft, so we were like Microsoft. I wrote code in C#, and yeah, basically I worked for a market research company, and I wrote code to slice and dice data and make pretty graphs so that, you know, the CEO of a corporation could look and say, oh, that's a pretty graph, thank you. That's what I did. Any other good questions?
What's your ideal breakfast while camping?
Oh, I'm not a big breakfast. My ideal breakfast is 2 16-ounce cups of coffee, and I don't know, if I'm feeling it, maybe an apple fritter. But I'm not really big into breakfast. I don't often eat breakfast. I usually will eat a snack, and I'm a big dinner eater. I like a big dinner.
hanging by the beach is glad that you didn't stop doing videos when you lost all your stuff.
Oh yeah, that was so. And this is again, you know, I want to thank everyone who's ever, you know, made any kind of donation. A couple, like 3 years ago, my car was broken into and everything was in it at the time. I had my laptop bag, all my, you know, my laptop, all my hard drives with all the first videos on it were all gone. I was devastated. I mean, I was so despondent. I literally was like, oh, all human beings are the worst human beings ever. There are no good human beings. But a lot of people had just disappeared off of YouTube, and I didn't want to just disappear, so I made a goodbye video. Well, a whole bunch of people were like, oh, you know, we want to help, we want to help. Well, I started a GoFundMe, and I raised about $1,400 or $1,500. I had about $5,000 of stuff stolen, so I couldn't replace everything that was stolen. But that $1,500, I cannot even begin to explain what that meant. That totally like healed my heart. And it was a pretty amazing experience, something I completely did not quite, well, I still don't quite grasp it. I still don't, yeah, I just very, very thankful for, you know, all the kind comments, all the donations, all just the amazing, like heartfelt generosity of people through the comments. I love reading all the really sweet comments people leave. So yeah, I got everything stolen. That video is out there. I left it up. I thought about deleting it. I often think about deleting videos, but then I'm like, no, that's part of the story. I'm gonna leave it. So Matthew Priest, thank you very much. That sounds familiar.
Yeah. He did a second one
Thank you.
to help you recover anything. It looks like it says here's to more new stuff.
Thank you very much. Yeah, any other good questions?
Here's a good one from Dory and Nina.
All right.
Do you feel stressed to keep uploading content?
I do sometimes, and it's not by any external force.
My turn to get a beer.
Completely an internal force.
So
I love making videos. I stumble when I'm editing a lot. Like, I'll start editing and I'll get to a point and I'm like, okay, well, what do I do here? How do I show this? And, you know, I have X footage and I want to show this, and yeah, I get kind of stuck, and then I have to like step away from it. And what I'm trying to do now is I'll put a video aside and I'll start working on the next video, and after about 3 or 4 hours of working on that video, I'll come back and hit the other one. Let's see. Judy, thank you very much, Judy. Thank you. I very much appreciate it.
Claudia said, grab me one, Ren.
We got you, Claudia.
Same page, girl. Same page.
There was a one that said, what was the scariest thing that you've come across since you started traveling?
All the scariest things were in the head. And I think a lot of people experience this when you first go out on the road. You go out to boondock and you're like, oh, I'm gonna get eaten, or I'm gonna get shot by some maniacal chainsaw wielding murderer. All sorts of these things go through your head. It's not true. I haven't had any really awful experiences. I've had
the chainsaw murderer.
Well, yeah, the chainsaw murderer was terrible. Sort of. I mean, turned out to be a nice guy. I'm kidding. There's no murderers. Yeah, so I have not had any really awful experiences. The worst thing that happens is I was at Flagstaff and some guy was literally across the street target shooting, and I don't have a problem with people target shooting, but this guy was literally across the street, and about every 1 out of 10 bullets ricocheted. And it was like, pew, pew, and oh my, it was freaking me out. That was freaking me out. I mean, what are the odds of getting shot by a ricocheted bullet? I don't know. I didn't do the math, but it was bothering me.
Keeps you on your toes, though.
Yeah. I do not like cities, and I found out that the worst things that ever happened to me happened in cities. I love being out in the country. I love being out in the middle of nowhere. The farther out in the middle of nowhere I am, the happier I am. I'd rather get eaten by a bear than murdered and axe murdered and chainsaw murdered by somebody in a city. So.
Yeah, so true.
I don't know. If somebody's coming for me, I'm gonna make them work for it. So like.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna make them work for it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
tag.
Yeah.
That's all we need. Just tag me in, and I got you.
Yeah. I saw one about boondocking.
Yeah.
Carla Jordan, when boondocking, is it pitch black darkness or do you get moonlight? It's pitch black darkness if there's no moon, but there's moon a lot of times. Bring a flashlight, definitely. If you're boondocking, bring a flashlight. It's a good thing.
Time of travel. Yeah, and then do you pay for camping in comparison to boondocking, which...
I very rarely pay for campgrounds, and I have no problem with paying for campgrounds, but it can get really expensive. In California,
Very
state
quickly.
parks, yeah, California state parks charge about $35 a night. That gets expensive quick. So boondocking definitely helps if you're on a budget. But if I go to a national park, like when I go to Yosemite, that's a huge park, and it's very difficult to boondock outside the park and get inside the park in a timely fashion. It would take you like an hour if you boondock outside to get anywhere in the park. Whereas if you, I know all the campgrounds in Yosemite. I know where I can go and camp on a first come first serve. So I can get anywhere in the park in about half an hour from that campsite, and it's only $12 a night, and that is very affordable. So I definitely prefer to boondock. I definitely prefer to not be literally side by side with every other camper. But yeah, I don't have anything against campgrounds.
Would you?
Go ahead. No, go ahead. Absolutely.
No, after you.
No, you go first.
Okay.
No, you first.
Would you consider doing a caravan for newbie gals?
So I've actually been asked this before, and it's not that I don't, I'm not against the caravanning thing. The thing is that I have a really hard time making my videos and concentrating on things when I'm around a bunch of people, because I'm very social and I love to talk to people, I love to hang out. And so I shy away from the caravans because I would never get anything done. I'd never make another video. So
That's totally true, because we'll be at
Yeah.
the RTR and there'll be a huge group and they're all her counterparts, YouTubers and stuff, and Bex will be over in the corner and like she'll come out and wave at all of us and we're just like, hi.
So I know everybody loves watching The Tribe, and The Tribe is a lot of fun, and I love all those people, but I would rather go in and hang out for a couple days and then head out and do my own thing so that I can, for every video you watch, I spend at least an hour per minute editing. So if you watch a 12-minute video, I spend at least 12 hours editing that video. So I spend a lot of time editing.
That's a long time. I just want to mention to Carla, she asked if wolves prowl around our camp, and I can tell you that yesterday we were sitting here just before dusk and watched a coyote run down the road,
Oh, yeah.
not too far away.
The coyote was
So-
running right down the road over there.
It happens.
If they get
Well,
near
that's a-
you, they're like, you
Oh.
can't take me. I ain't even worried about
Yeah.
you, and they just go right around you. So
Well, that's a coyote, and coyotes they're harmless, completely harmless.
unless you're a dog.
Oh yeah. They don't like dogs.
They're completely harmless unless you have a small dog, and then they'll eat it.
But wolves.
You're safe though.
yeah.
The point is you're safe.
Yes, you're safe. Wolves. There aren't a lot of wolves around, and again, wolves usually will avoid you like the plague, because for them you are the plague.
Todd Vincent, what generator do you use? Which I kind of giggled at. Just kind of.
I have no generator. I do not like generators. That's one of my big complaints when I'm in a place with generators. Yeah, I see it.
Yep.
You have to put a wrench.
WDB 391.
WDB 391, thank you so much.
With the book.
I saw another one about boondocking. She asked something about leaving my lights on when I boondock, or the exterior lights.
Yeah, about being in the dark again or something.
Yeah.
It was Carla.
I do not leave any exterior lights on because it would keep me awake. Like those lights come back inside, and I actually love just when you turn out all the lights and you're just sitting out and you're looking up and see all the stars. There's nothing more beautiful than seeing all the stars with no city lights around. Yeah, I highly recommend just getting out in the middle of nowhere and looking up for a couple hours.
Honestly, even when we're really grouped up, there might be a couple security lights on facing outside the circle of rigs, but if all those lights keep coming on, it kind of blows your night vision. And so if there's any kind of moonlight or even heavy starlight, you can walk out here no problem. So
Well, we've been on for an hour. I think an hour sounds good. Are there any good, one more call for questions. Do we have any? I love answering questions. So
There are some questions that I'll say that I don't know if Ren read them, but they're going to benefit you in
I
a
don't read
future
so good.
video.
What? No.
They're going to benefit you in a future video. So like this one right here, wow, they move fast.
they do move fast.
Like Boondocking Becca has a question, but I think Bex can answer that at another time. It's about solar and a small camper.
How much
So-
do you recommend?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I just need to charge my laptop and cell phone. So, oh, I see another. Oops.
Junior?
Junior banana.
No, not banana. Branna. Branna?
Junior.
Branna.
Okay.
I'm sorry for butchering your name.
Brana.
Brana.
Thank you very
Brana.
much. Solar. So I have a 90 amp hour AGM battery, and I have a 100 watt Renogy solar panel. I wish that I had at least double that, but that's because of editing at night. My 90 amp hour, I would suggest getting at least a 100 amp hour battery if you can get it. But when I'm editing at night, my battery will only last for a couple of hours of editing when the sun goes down. When the sun is up, my solar
I saw
panel, my solar panel, I get all the electricity I need during the day, all the electricity I need. I just wish I had more at night when the sun went down. So if you're just charging up during the day, you could get a really small battery. But I would recommend getting at least a 100 amp hour battery. That's my recommendation. And a 100 watt solar panel.
Just for like people that entered after we started, a lot have been asking, who are we?
Oh, all right. I am the most fabulous Beck's cat herder. Oh, but you knew that already.
But she doesn't herd cats.
These are my sweet, awesome, wonderful friends. This is the most awesome Ren. This is the most awesome Candy ever.
Hello.
And I'm so thankful that they're here. I was like, you gotta do the video with me because people chat so much and I really want to respond, and I can't really respond when I'm looking there. So thank you, I love you. Oh.
Hugs.
Don't touch me. No. All right.
All right.
Did you see any questions, Ren, that I might have missed?
Not really. The solar thing, a bunch of you asked for. So she's running a 100 watt solar panel with 100 amp hours. So I volunteer at the van build and install lots of solar stuff. And I run a ROG laptop. I run a refrigerator. that is a Dometic. So I have power needs, but I do just fine with 310 amp hours of battery, and I have 400 watts. That's all it takes me. We built your trailer, and 320 has you topped off like a champ every day by 9 o'clock.
Yeah, she has a one single 320 watt solar panel with the same battery setup, and those you have two batteries that are what 150 a piece.
155, yeah.
155 amp hours a piece, two of them. If you're running a fridge, you should definitely get that. If you're not running a fridge, if you're just charging a laptop and your cell phone, you can get away with less. But I would get, like those batteries, I would get one of those. The 155 amp hour, I wish I had just the one. I should have gotten a little more.
Yeah. I have dust in my eyeball.
Dust in the old eyeball.
Yep.
That's never good.
It looks like mostly everything else is kind of like loves to you and
There's a
congrats.
lithium ion one.
I don't
If you can, he was telling somebody to get a lithium ion if you can afford it. Okay, so the thing about lithium ion, also as an installer, is if you have a secure environment to put that lithium ion battery in, that's fine. Lithium ion can
Do you
run
mean
warm.
By secure, you mean not too hot and it's cool?
Exactly.
Yeah.
It can run warm out here. So we just got here a couple of days ago, and our first day it was 108. Like, you're going to want to keep that lithium ion out of that. There's a reason why Teslas can charge so quickly. It's because they run coolant through the battery while it's charging. Also, if you have any kind of concerns about freezing, do not buy a lithium ion battery. Get an AGM all day long, because that battery will be fine. Lithium ion, you'll kill it. So.
Yeah, that's one reason I never bought any lithium, because I love to go out in the snow, and where I put my battery, I can't control that temperature. So that's a concern with lithium ion. You don't want it to get below freezing, and you don't want it to get over about 100 degrees. It won't hurt the battery unless you're charging it or discharging it.
Right.
So if it gets hotter than 100 or colder than freezing, don't use it. Just hit the shutoff valve. All right. So shall we shut this baby down?
Yeah, not bad for our first one, I think.
Not too bad. All right,
So-
let's play.
But just so you know,
What?
there was several comments that said you should do this once a week.
I would if I could. I love.
But I can't.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
The vast majority of time, I don't have cell service. We spent several days up at the North Rim.
Yeah.
Nothing. Not even a peep. You had to drive a minimum of 45 miles to get service where we were camped up in the forest.
We were so far out there, the deer look at you and they're like, I will screw you up.
The deer walked right by our camp. One morning I got up and I looked out my window. There was a deer right out the back window. She was up hanging at the campfire at like 2 a.m.
Judgment.
2 a.m. and and a
love
deer
it.
walked right through our campsite. So the deer are just like, dude, what's up?
It's true.
It's fun.
All right.
All right, shut this thing down.
Oh, we're shutting it down.
Time to
what's-
drink beer.
Exactly.
Only if you want to make it more special.
And stand up. Several people said they couldn't read your shirt because you would move too quick or whatever. So show them what your shirt says. Even though they saw your coffee mug, but
Yeah.
there was other people that weren't there.
I am living my Beck's life. I actually want to get like so this cup here, this was my test, so awesome. So the wonderful, beautiful Candy drew this. That is my camper, and it says Bexplore. I actually wanted to get like a little t-shirt thing that says Bexplore. Bexplore your world. Anyway, all right. Are we shutting this show down? Bring out the dancing ladies. Bring down the confetti, confetti.
Start working.
No twerking. We're not
Okay.
twerking. No twerking. All right.
I'm saying by all thanks
All right.
for watching.
Yes, thank you, thank you. I can't even. How many people watch anyway?
A lot.
300.
300.
Wow, that's amazing. I feel very honored, actually. I was gonna make a joke, but I'm not gonna make a joke because I'm actually very, very honored. Thank you. All right, I've never done this before, so I'm looking for the button to say, oh, bye.
Meantime,
The long lost road trip. Hi, Beard. Hello. Johnny's Tiny Creekside. Bye. Pink message me. Bex 314. Bye, Bex. Bye. Thanks. Let me find the little button. I think this is it.